Oh my god, I'm about to beat it. I'm about to beat it. I think I just beat it. Yep. There it is. There it is. Let's go! Let's go! Sorry. I was just... Hello everyone and welcome. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Firebug and today we'll be continuing playing Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel. So, I just completed Muspelheim, the second map. If you haven't watched me play Niflheim, the first map, which I played CRS, you could go check that out. I have that previous video in the link in the description. So go ahead and check that out. Pretty good. And this is the first map that I completed, Nightmare Mode 10. So don't miss that one out. But in this video, I have completed Muspelheim, the firing realm. And I have also completed this on Nightmare 10. Something to keep in mind though, and I didn't know this until now. So if you go back to the first map, Nightmare 10 enemy difficulty is up to 420%. That's insane. But what's even crazier is if you go up the level of the next map, it gets even harder slightly. So enemy difficulty is 435%. So that being said, if I go to the very last map, Helheim, you go to difficulty Nightmare 10, which I haven't completed yet, enemy difficulty goes up to 490%. So if you don't want to miss that out, go ahead and subscribe. But moving on, so you're probably wondering, how did I complete Muspelheim on the hardest difficulty? What character I use, all that. And I'll explain that in this part of the section of the video. But if you don't care, you want to go straight to the video and gameplay, then go ahead and click on the timestamp on screen right now. And I'll also have the timestamps in the link in the description, so you could go check that out. Click on the timestamp and go straight to the gameplay. Alright, so you're probably wondering, what character I used? So the character I chose this time is Flame Sister. And you're probably like, wow, that's a cool skin. How did I unlock that one? Well, I actually have a full playlist to unlock all of the character's secondary skins, as you can see on screen right now. So, except looking basic, you could actually go look really cool and snazzy. So, I have a full playlist in the description, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested to unlock all of the character's secondary skins without pulling out your wallet. Alright, now let's actually begin. So, Flame Sister, and the weapon of choice that I have for her, and the one I usually go for, is the Sisterhood Dagger. This grants her evasion plus 10%. And evasion's kind of like every time someone attacks you, I have a chance to just dodge it, or just kind of have them miss their attack. So the higher evasion, the better. Also, the reason why I like this weapon also is the fiery bombs. And this one does decent damage, and it grants you 4 explosions. So pretty cool, and it's only on a 10-second cooldown. Pretty strong weapon. Alright, now let's go over the class traits for Flame Sister. And all 3 of them are really good in my opinion. So let's quickly kind of talk about them. So Blazing Soul. Every burning soul randomly bursts into enemies nearby and drain their life. So there you go. Does damage and you can heal. Pretty good. Next, Dasher. Flame Sister actually grants her 2 dashes and a plus 20 evasion. So the sword gives you 10% evasion, and you also get 20% just playing Flame Sister. Total is 30% evasion. Not too bad. And again, all characters in this game besides Warden, they all have dashes. So Flame Sister actually gains an additional dash. Very strong. Alright. Lastly is Inferno. A alternative attack infused with fire with the potential to burn enemies. So alternate attack and burn chance is 15%. And I'll explain more why burn like everything that has a burn chance is very important for Flame Sister. Alright, now let's go over to the skill shop. So skill shop for Flame Sister. And if you're a new player and you have no gold and you barely just got some gold, always want to look for the right side, because the right side is the passives. Don't get confused with these passives, but these passives is permanent. So as soon as you unlock them, and every time you pick up Flame Sister, you'll unlock all these passives just by picking her up. These passives up here, they're the ones that you have to unlock when you level up in the game. So when you level up, you can see right here, it says level 1 to 8. You can unlock or have a chance to unlock this passive. And you can buy it and then upgrade, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. But let's quickly go over her actual passives. So she has increased critical hit chance overall with 50%. Really good, very strong. Next up is Blazing Soul burns chance is overall 50%. Again, Blazing Soul is her very first class trait. So at 50%, you can dish a lot more damage and you can heal a lot more. Crazy. But let's move on. It doesn't end there. So she also have a counterattack. And what this does has a random skill reset chance of 20%. So all those skills like these ones and the god skills of these ones, right? So all those skills have a chance just to randomly reset 20%, and it's triggered by your evasion. So that's why evasion, the more evasion you have, the better. So every time you have the invasion proc, boom, you have a higher chance to get your random skill chance to reset itself. Next and last is the chain reaction. So what this does with Blazing Soul can explode twice, and the chance is 30%. So again, if you don't know what Blazing Soul is, again, Blazing Soul is this the first class trait that she has. So not only that you get this up by 50%, but you have a chance to it proccing 2 times by 30%. It's crazy. So yeah, very strong character in my opinion. All right, next is these passives right here. So I have the increased critical hit damage, and you can level this up at level 1 to level 15. Next up is these abilities. I know some people really like the Dance of Daggers. I think it's okay, not too bad. But my personal take is that I enjoy the Flaming Rays just a little bit more. But if you see someone on YouTube, Twitch, or any other platform, and they're picking up this item, it doesn't mean they're wrong. If it works for them, it works for them. But this is my personal take on the abilities that I have. And the reason why I don't have points in it, because clearly I have enough gold. The reason why I don't put points in it is because if you don't put points in it, they don't have a higher chance to, when you level up, they don't have a higher chance to be on the screen. So if you put points in stuff like this, they have a higher chance when you level up to be there compared to this one, because I don't really utilize this one in my personal take. But if someone else likes it, let them use it. They're not wrong. Moving on. All right. So I personally really like fire darts. The darts do a lot of damage, decent damage. It has a chance to bounce. The bounce chance is 50%. And the explosion's really good with Flame Sister, which I'll explain a little bit more later. Next up is the Flaming Ray. Why I like this one more than this one? Simple, because it does a lot more damage. You can actually have up to 3 rays at once, just consistent, and the burn chance is 10%. I know burn chance is like, oh, it's only 10%, but it adds up over time. So the more burn chance, the better, which I'll explain more later. And the last one is the Sharpener Pot. So this does decent damage, and it has a poison chance of 50%. Very strong item, but in the sake of this video, I think I only use these 2. But here's a really good option, just in case someone else wants to try something different. This one's a really good one in my opinion. ignore this one. I don't think I've ever had success every time I used it, so that's why it's blacked out. Alright, now let's talk about the gods. So the gods of choice that I have, and again, if you haven't watched my videos, I am a big fan of Odin and his one ability, the local Ragnarok. Very strong. And I kind of touched this in my last video as well, but I'm just going to quickly kind of go over this one. So the reason why I pick Odin is because the damage overall is really good. He also has experience gained, very strong. And he also has the Yule Father, double skill and reward. What this does is every time you level up, you have a chance to level up twice for free. So very strong in my opinion. Next up is Blasphemy. And then he also has these two other passives, which you don't really utilize that with Flame Sister, but it is there. Increased health, you always pick this one up. It's not that bad. But the attack speed, you don't really utilize that one. And then next up is Scotty. And Scotty, if you don't know, if you haven't watched my other videos, Scotty's crazy strong. So it increases your cooldown. Decreases your cooldown by overall 10%. And she also has more rerolls, overall 7, and she also has a reflect chance of overall 25%, and she also grants her 2 steals. Now, for the sake of this video, the only ones you probably want to look for is just these two, the Frost Ring, because it has a freeze chance of 40%, and it also the Arctic Arrow also has a freeze chance of 100. Which I'll explain more, but first let's go back and talk about Flame Sister. So the subclass that I personally like the most is the Flame Dancer. This one grants you burn damage of 200% and Infernal chance is 100%, and it also grants you more cooldown for your class skills. So class skills and god skills are a little bit different. Class skills is what she has, right? So these abilities right here, class skills, and compared to like the god skills, but very strong subclass. You can have some builds working with the smoke assassin, but it's personally not my favorite because yeah, you have a higher slay chance, yeah, you have a higher evasion, but I don't really have much success when I go over to playing on Nightmare 10. And then the other subclass, the Ash one, it's okay, does decent damage for the god skills, but we're not looking for god skills. And most of her other passives, as you can see down here, don't really apply because they're only for god skills. So not my favorite. So that's why I choose Flame Dancer, just because the burn damage and the Infernal chance is also increased. And again, if you don't know what Infernal does, Infernal is the additional attack that also has a higher burn chance. So more burn, more burn, more burn. That's the purpose of Flame Sister. You want to just apply as much burn as possible because it works really well with her passives. So when you pick up Flame Sister, you actually want to go with her passives because I want to be honest, all of her passives, very strong, very OP, one of the best passives for the characters in my opinion. So let's quickly kind of go over which ones you should look for when you level up Flame Sister. So you want this one to increase even more of your evasion, so it gets from 10% to 20%. So if you remember the math, right? So she already grants her 20% just by playing Flame Sister. So 20% plus 20%, and the dagger that I have is also a 10. So that's a total of 50% of evasion. Very strong. So half of the attacks that the enemies are trying to attack you, you're just gonna evade it. All right, moving on. Supernova increases the blazing soul, and it can be used more often, and the cooldown is 30%. Next up is this passive increases the critical hit chance by any enemy that is affected by bleed, burn, shock, or poison. Next up is this one, Infernal is increased chance to inflict a burn. So again, more burn, the better. And this also has increased damage of 35%. And then the next one is Discipline. This one grants you even more damage for your class skills. Next up is this one, and this passive, what it does is enemies affected with the burn have a chance to create a flaming area upon death. So every time you kill someone, they have a chance to have a flaming area that does even more damage. So very crazy, very strong. Next up is this one. This one grants you cooldown for every enemy that is affected with burn. Next up is the Master Assassin. Attacks have a chance to instantly kill a non-elite enemies. Next up is every successful evasion, you throw a knife that does damage. And again, the higher evasion you have, the more you're going to proc this Iron Fan. And the damage is actually not that bad. It's only 17, and it does and it strikes 4 times, and the cooldown is every 0.3 seconds. Next up is this one, and this passive is the additional bonus damage to enemies afflicted with a burn or poison status. So that's why I give you the second option of the Shrapnel Pot, and that one has a poison chance of 15. So that one's the second good option, but it pairs up really well with this one. And then next one is the Long Knife passive. This one increases the attack range to attack range of a plus 30%. And then next one is this one. So every time you burn or inflict a burn on an enemy, you can heal off of them. And the heal is just a 1 HP, but it adds up over time because you're going to consistently burn people. And then lastly is the Unseen Blade. This passive grants you increased critical hit damage. So again, if every time you crit someone, you have a chance to instantly kill them with the Master Assassin one. And this one increases the damage output in general. So very good. Alright, and then last I'm going to quickly kind of go over the gods that I chose for this video. So Scotty, the reason why you want to look for freeze is because you can get this passive with Scotty. It's called Frostbite. So every time you freeze an enemy and you kill them, you have a chance to heal. You can also have a chance to heal the hero when they are killed. So the heal is only 12 and the chance is only 35, but if you upgrade it, it's up to 70%. And again, with most of her abilities with Scotty, she already has 100% chance to freeze someone. So that's why you want to pair it up with 2 abilities with Scotty, 1 ability with Odin, and the last 2 is with Flame Sister. Next up that you want to look for is the chance to freeze enemies on each hit. So every time you hit someone, you have a chance to freeze them by 12%. Very strong. And then you also want to look for the Frost Armor passive, reduce damage taken, and the Ice Block grants temporarily invulnerability. Alright, I'm almost done. Now let's talk about Odin. So with Odin passives that you want to look for is the Worthy Opponent. What this does is damage overall is increased by 5%, and the damage versus elites is increased by 20%. So all those annoying ass elites that you can't kill, this will help you kill them a little bit faster. Next up is the Self-Sacrifice, grants you just 1 revive. This has saved my runs so many times off camera, so always pick this up if you have the chance. Next up is this one. This one grants you Double Cast. The Double Cast is only 5% and it also heals you. However, when it does proc, it makes a huge difference, because you can proc the local Ragnarok 2 times. Even though it has a small chance to do it, but when it does, it makes a huge difference. And then lastly, for Odin's passives that you want to look for is attack critical hits have a chance to apply a bleed to nearby enemies. So this one's really good because it works well. So it works very well with the Flame Sister passive right here. So again, every time you apply a burn or a bleed, shock, or poison, you have a critical hit chance and it is increased by 10%. Alright, that being said, let's finally get into the game of Muspelheim on the hardest difficulty, Nightmare 10, on Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel. Alright, and hello again. Do not worry, I'll probably just briefly talk and kind of just tell you what was happening in this map. And then I will also talk about the other characters because I have plans on the other characters and the higher levels. So, because this is the second map, it's slightly harder than the last map that I played. And the last map, Helheim, the enemy difficulty on Nightmare 10 is almost 500%. But I am trying to play different characters and not just rely on like CRS, right? And someone in the comments actually talked about like, yeah, it seemed like you really relied on the invincibility aspect. So I'm like, okay, I'll play the other characters and really just kind of push my luck, because I believe that all the characters in the game have a chance to succeed. So, and it would make it a better, more entertaining for you guys, right? It would be really boring if I just kept playing like Flame Sister or CRS for all of Nightmare 10. So I'm gonna try to play different characters and give you guys like one of my suggestions on the best builds, in my opinion. Because the way I see it is, if I showed you guys in the beginning, kind of explain things quite quickly about, oh, this is why I built this is why I built that, look for this, look for that, all of that, it gives you guys a better knowledge of the best build to try to complete Nightmare 10. And this is my evidence, right? So I'm not just like pulling someone's leg like, oh yeah, this is the best build to beat Nightmare 10, and then the video ends and there's no gameplay to prove it, right? Also, I know this recording might be a little bit late because I was quite busy this week, but I am going to try to push this out maybe Friday or Saturday, or even sooner. It really depends. But do not worry, next week I'm probably going to have more videos out for you guys. And this videos for the Nightmare series, Nightmare 10 to be exact, does take quite some more time than my other videos, because I can't just like hop on, just be a Nightmare 10 and then just call it a day. Right? That's not reality. I had to like sat there, learn. Behind the scenes, I've actually tried to beat this multiple times with different characters like Revenant, Warden, Kinslayer, Berserker, Flame Sister. This is actually my second Flame Sister run, and I actually beat it. So yeah, pretty cool. And I didn't rely on CRS, so she doesn't have that invincibility. In my opinion, the invincibility is very strong, but Flame Sister, to applying all those burns, very OP. Evasion, burns, has a high crit chance, crit damage, and also she has was it the chance to slay or chance to kill someone? What's the actual term? Basically, she has a chance to like insta kill someone with one of the passives, which I think that's crazy strong in my opinion. But I feel like after sitting down, really just like took a break for a minute and really sat down and look at what her kit offers, the gods that work well with her, I feel like that was the big key moment that I was like, okay, I need to focus on more evasions, more burns, all that. And in my opinion, I feel like Flame Sister would be S tier, in my humble opinion. The only thing that struggles with Flame Sister is she has very small health pool. As you can see on the screen right now, it's like 550. So she's pretty squishy, but very strong, and she can kill basically anything. So that's why I really enjoy playing this character. But if there is a character you want to see, if there's a certain build you wanted to see, if there is like, oh, this build works best for me, and just put it down in the comments, because not only I get to read it, but people that do stop by and watch this video also get to read it. So there you go. And subscribe so you don't miss out when I beat the entire game on Nightmare 10, because I feel like that would be a huge achievement, especially when Nightmare really just came out. I think like last Friday the update came out. So I have a lot of knowledge, and maybe I could share that knowledge with you guys, so you guys could be better at this game as well. But again, just because I'm showing you my builds doesn't mean it's like the most correct build ever. If you watch someone else on Twitch, YouTube, and they have different builds and they can still complete Nightmare 10, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It means that they're just slightly better than I am, in my opinion. But after doing my own research, I believe that these builds work really well. And again, during the time of this recording, I haven't seen anyone complete any of the Nightmare 10s on YouTube. Every time you look up Jotunnslayer Nightmare 10, I barely see anyone talking about it. So, but yet again, this is not a lot of people play it. Really enough, if you haven't played this game, highly recommended. It's cheap. It's not even that expensive of a game. I think it's like $15, and sometimes it has a sale. So very worth your while. Great graphics, great video. I mean, not video. Great visuals. The soundtrack is crazy good. So everything, and the game isn't that expensive. It's really worth your time, really. And you can get it on consoles. You get it on PC. I'm playing on PC, but I prefer using my Xbox controller. So that's just me. But yeah, you will always have fun with this game. So if you do pick it up, it is worth your while, in my opinion. So, all right. That all being said, I think I am gonna leave, but just to warn you, I might get super excited at the boss fight, especially when I complete it. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for making it this far. Thank you so much for hearing me yap a little bit. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. All right. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Hordes of Hel. Luitem et en harska.
Alright. Just had to turn on my mic real quick. Oh, fuck! Oh, I kind of regret doing that. Holy shit. But I'm fine. I'm fine. I just... I went over to turn on my mic again. Holy fuck. Alright. But I think I can just lifesteal. Yeah, I can just lifesteal. I'm totally fine. And he's low. Let's fucking go, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm about to beat the second map, Muspelheim, on the hardest difficulty, Nightmare 10. Hardest and, well, newest and hardest difficulty. I think this difficulty came out on last Friday. Holy shit. Look how low he is. Oh my god, I'm about to beat it. I'm actually about to beat this. The second map. Oh, yes. Come on. Just had to dodge his attacks. Look at that. Look how low he is. Oh my god, I can feel it. Oh, yes, yes. Right there, right there. Look, 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 look. Oh my god, I'm about to beat it. I'm about to beat it. I think I just beat it. Yep. There it is. There it is. Let's go! Let's go! Sorry. I was just... Alright. This is the build. Oh my god. But yeah, I just beat the second map, Muspelheim, on the hardest difficulty. Holy shit. Let's fucking go, guys. Ooh, that was hard. That was the second time that I had tried to beat this with Flame Sister. Oh my god. I am so exhausted. Hopefully this was entertaining for you guys.
The heat, can you feel the burn?